be prepared, do your best every single day, and that's all you can do. I mean, you can show up and do the best that you can do. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have failures. You're gonna have those down days. You're gonna need to push through those and know that everything's gonna be okay on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today. And I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, we're looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. Now, today's guest is someone who helps people take back something super important, their time. Now, think about it. Parents are busy with work, school pickups, sports, cooking, laundry, and about a million other things. Well, today's guest built a company that helps families and professionals stress less by keeping homes and properties clean and organized. But here's the cool part. He's also using AI and technology to make his business smarter and faster. So please welcome the co-owner of Mad Cleaning Services, Michael Kelley.
Thanks, Tiberius. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So, Michael, for kids listening who may not know, what exactly does Mad Cleaning Services do?
So we specialize in recurring residential and commercial cleaning services for local businesses in Central Florida.
All right. So I thought that cleaning services were only for like rich people until my dad found a cleaning company on barter. But what's the target market for, these services?
So we specialize in giving services to physicians, attorneys, busy professionals looking to get their time back, people that know that time is their most valuable asset.
All right, so first, I have to ask, what does MAD stand for? Because it says periods between them. So are most people angry about cleaning or something?
Yeah, it actually stems towards family. So MAD stands for Michael, Amber, Dominic, for my family.
There you go. So I read that you started cleaning with your mom when you were super young, like around 8 years old, about the time when I started my show. But what was that like as a kid?
Very wild and crazy doing, I started cleaning an Italian gentleman's club with my mom, picking up, emptying ashtrays and, empty whiskey glasses and stuff like that. And, it was quite an adventure to be where we're at today for sure.
So did your friends think it was weird that you were working so young?
Not necessarily. I don't remember anybody ever being like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't be working yet or anything like that. It was just kind of like, single mom. You got to do what you got to do. So,
yeah. So what lessons did cleaning teach you back then?
Work ethic for sure. Getting up every day, going and doing your best, being detail oriented, doing a good job, making sure that the client was satisfied, happy with the work, so on and so forth.
So you've said cleaning is more than just a business to you. It's kind of a family legacy. And what do you mean by that?
Definitely a family legacy. It helped propel me and my mom out of poverty as a kid. It helped my family propel forward in life, to reach the point where we're at now. All
right. So what made you decide to start your own company instead of working for someone else, forever?
Initially, I did work for other people. My wife and I, we both had lucrative careers in logistics and sales and stuff like that. So, however, we always felt like there was something missing. There was something deeper. There was something that we just didn't feel like we were family. We felt like we were just a corporate number. And that's one of the biggest things with our company is that we get to treat all of our employees like family.
There you go. So how different is running a cleaning company from logistics?
Not very different to, believe it or not. You still have scheduling, you still have dispatching, you still have logistical chaos, if you will, that comes up on a day-to-day, whether it be this property's not ready to be cleaned or, something of the sort. So,
All right. So what's something people totally misunderstand about professional cleaning?
I would say having set expectations. A lot of the failures that I see within our industry is because of lack of consistency. So when you have a cleaning company come out, they may send a new person out, and then that person doesn't know what to do when they get to your home or to your business. And then they end up doing the best job that they can, but it's not an aligned scope of work.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say having a hard-lined expectation set in stone.
All right. So do people think it's easier than it actually is?
I don't know if people think it's easier than it actually is, but I would definitely say that it is hard work. It's definitely something that it's physical all day long, using your body to scrub, using your body to vacuum, so on and so forth. So it does have its perks to it and its drawbacks, so to say.
All right. So how do you train people to notice details most of us miss?
For us, it's all about process. If you start in the exact same place and you end in the exact same place, if you miss something in between, I can catch where the breakdown was in the process, so that way we can train our technicians through that process.
All right. Now I have to know, what is the grossest thing that you've ever had to clean?
So I actually just did a presentation on this a while back, and believe it or not, this was in Palm Bay, and they had 6 pigs, 2 goats living in the home. And they let them, the the pig pen was the Florida room, the sun room. The goats were there for the biological lawnmowers, so to speak. And it was pretty wild. The animals weren't there when we cleaned finally.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it was quite a disaster to clean up after. So yeah.
Huh. That's weird. I'm dissecting a pig on Wednesday, I think.
Oh, that's
That'll be
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
But have you ever accidentally broken something on a job?
Yes, I have.
Pay it?
There was it was such a horrible situation. I felt like a horrible human being at that point in time, because it was a client's son's ceramic thing that they made from 1990 that fell off the wall, and I tried to catch it. It was ceramic. It sliced my hand open. I didn't catch it. It fell. It broke. I felt horrible, but no, the client took it really well. She was really reassuring, like, I completely understand, bad things happen, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
she gave me grace that day for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, ow, that sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So do people ever clean before the cleaning crew arrives? Because that just seems funny to me.
Some clients do prefer that they, pick up around the house, or like pick up their kids' toys or their room or whatever before we get there. However, it's not a requirement. That's why we build a custom cleaning plan for all of our clients, so that way we're meeting all the needs that they have.
Dad. Dad. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between regular cleaning and deep cleaning?
So deep cleaning, you're touching surfaces, going inside of appliances, possibly inside of cabinets, possibly. You're doing a very thorough cleaning, definitely blinds, top to bottom, the entire house, floors, carpets, everything. As far as recurring cleaning, like I said, that varies based on what the client's preferences are, and what the custom cleaning list is. But it's definitely a more thorough clean for a deep clean, and more light maintenance for recurring.
All right. So what's one cleaning trick that everybody should know?
One cleaning trick that everybody should know. That's a great question. There's so many different surfaces out there. If if I could express anything to anyone, I would say do your research before you start putting chemicals on something. You don't want to etch I can't tell you how many bathtubs I've seen where somebody took toilet bowl cleaner and put it in the bathtub. Well, it's fiberglass. It etches the fiberglass, eats away the glaze. It's a permanent stain. You end up having to replace it or reseal it just to fix it. So just do your due diligence on what chemicals you use.
You don't do that. Those two are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So do teenagers clean their rooms properly, or are we all doomed? Is our generation like?
I would have to say job security. For our company in that realm, it all depends. It depends on if the level of organization, so on and so forth. But that's really what we're there to make sure and maintain. Make sure that everything's taken care of.
I know the reason why I hate my room, not hate my room, but hate cleaning my room is because I already know where everything is in my room, so I don't have to be really looking around for it. But if I clean it, I have no idea where anything is anymore because it's not where I last left it.
True.
Or if something cleans my room, I have no idea where it is. Where did it go? It's gone forever. Yeah. So what room in the house is secretly the dirtiest?
The kitchen. 100% the kitchen.
Really?
Especially if you cook a lot at home. The crumbs end up falling places that you had no idea that they fell.
Under the fridge.
Grease goes, yeah, exactly. The sides of the ovens. Yeah, so it's definitely the kitchen.
The amount of ice that I've thrown under the fridge when it falls. Yeah, I don't think that helps. So how important is organization to keeping a house clean?
Organization's probably your biggest step. If everything has its place, if everything is organized to the way that you like it, like you said, you can find it where you need it.
On the ground.
That may not be the easiest method, but hey, you found your niche. But yeah, I would definitely say having things organized is much easier to clean.
All right. Well, do you think having a clean space helps people mentally as well?
100%. There are studies that show that even just making your bed every day can make you 19% more productive. So I guarantee having your whole house cleaned does a world of mental relief.
Man, that's the part I don't get. Because I hate making my bed, and I don't do it anymore. Because it's going to get dirty the night anyway. So why clean it if it's just going to be dirty again?
I guess it's more about just the ritual. The routine of it. If you're going to make the bed every day, it gives you that extra oomph to go forward and do that extra, dusting around the house or whatever the case may be.
I mean, it's always somehow in this little blob anyway. The blanket's always in a little blob somewhere on the bed. But you've talked about helping reduce people's mental load. What does that mean?
With everything that we go through in life, kids' schedules, work, so on and so forth, taking and removing that added chore on the weekend, giving you the ability to spend time with your family instead of cleaning a toilet. People enjoy, spending time with their family over cleaning any day of the week. So that's how we really come in and save the day.
So here seems like a good time, to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut! That's a wrap! Just use that!
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And we're back here with Michael Kelley from Mad Cleaning Services. So, Michael, your company, focuses a lot on systems and efficiency. Why are systems so important in businesses?
So the biggest thing in our industry is that consistency drives quality. That's the simplest way to put it. Having everything done the exact same way every single time, that's what people expect when their homes are clean. We've listened to our clients over the years, and they've always told us that every time they come, something different's cleaned. So we make sure to do a custom cleaning list for all of our clients, so that way it's guaranteed consistency every time.
There you go. So what does systems driven actually mean for a cleaning company?
Systems driven for us, it boils down all the way down to the hourly price. So we do our pricing based off of a COGS analysis, which is cost of goods sold. Essentially breaks down to 45% cost of goods sold, 25% expenses, 30% profit. We analyze every single job through our field management software to ensure that the profit margins are held, and that way we're delivering top-notch service. We're also able to pay technicians to do a detail-oriented job and give them, our clients, the best experience.
There you go. So do you think kids should learn more about business and entrepreneurship in school?
100%. If I had the opportunity to go back and do more entrepreneurial classes and things of that sort, I most definitely would have. I think it's a huge pillar of success if you start out with knowledge at a younger age as an entrepreneur.
Now, you're also using AI in your company, which sounds super futuristic for cleaning, but how are you using it?
So AI does everything from our data entry. It's more about automation. So when we have jobs come in, AI will go ahead and take that email, put it into our field management software, schedule it for us, so on and so forth.
Kind of like a factory.
Exactly. And there are a couple other angles that we have AI with, as far as like search engine optimization, social media automation, for posting and stuff like that, as well as we have a heat map that displays where all of our jobs are for the month or the year. And I can take that data and give it to AI. AI analyzes it and tells me where we need to have an office branch at, or where technicians would be best to put in that area, so on and so forth.
I hear a lot of automation, automation this, automation that, but there's no robot cleaners?
So we are 100% in looking for that. We are reserved for the Tesla robots when they do eventually come along. Something that we've currently been working with is a data set that we have due to our field management software to hopefully utilize that to help train robots how to clean. So what I mean by that is everything has a task list. Every bit of labor is recorded. Every job has pictures of before and after. So that way, this is something that we could use to train an LLM to eventually control a robot to do the cleaning.
There you go. Well, do you think AI will change, small businesses a lot over the next few years?
100%. I think it's truly the only way that small businesses can compete with the larger corporations, especially from a marketing standpoint. A lot of people, when they first get into business, they don't know how to understand the data that they have. They know that they need to advertise. They know that they need to do marketing, but they don't know how to analyze what results they're getting. And AI cuts that out completely, and gives you the ability to finally understand the data to push more where you need to go.
Well, do you think technology makes businesses more personal or less personal?
I would have to say more personal, just because of the fact that with all that automation, you're not wasting time on a phone call that was something easy between a technician and our office staff, for instance. So it gives our technicians and our customer happiness manager the ability to concentrate more on the customer's needs.
There you go. So what's harder, cleaning houses or running the business behind the scenes?
I would definitely have to give it out to our technicians. Cleaning house is 100% very hard. As far as my role on the back end of things, I've actually been able to carve out a nice piece of time for myself. You know, I really only work about 20 hours a week, and that's when I want to work. You know, it's not a get up and be there at 9 a.m., work till 5 p.m., so on and so forth.
Not a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That might be pretty good. So since MAD is family owned, do you all ever bring, work conversations home to the dinner table?
So boundaries is the biggest thing. My mentor in the very beginning told us, you have got to have boundaries with your business, because in the very beginning when we did start, my wife and I, it was all about business 24/7. And then finally we realized that leads to burnout. It leads to unhappy conversations, let's say. So we've definitely gotten boundaries in place to where we don't bring those issues. It's strictly during work hours.
That's fair. So what's the biggest challenge you faced when starting the business in 2020?
I would have to say COVID. So luckily we had a huge network of people. My wife, she came from the septic and plumbing industry, so she had a lot of connections with property managers. So we were actually able to hit the ground running pretty fast in that realm. However, I would say that it was a struggle with COVID on getting into residential people's homes, because they didn't want you coming from somebody's house that had COVID or something along those lines and exposing their family. So that was one of the toughest aspects for sure.
Yeah. So what was the moment that you realized, okay, this business is actually going to work?
I don't think that there was one in particular moment. I think that it was a string of moments of like, oh, well, we had success our first year. Boom, we had growth our second year. Boom, we had even more growth our third. So it was like a constant driver of reassurance of you're doing the right thing, you're going to be okay type situation.
All right, so what's the best compliment a customer has ever given you?
The best compliment is definitely a referral. If you're trusting us to go into your family, your friends' homes and do the same job that we do at your property, that's a huge compliment to us.
As long as it's not a school referral, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, how do you build that trust with customers?
So we have done a very good job at, especially my wife, at analyzing the emotional aspects of what a dirty home can do to people. I have clients that tell us that, we saved their marriage. I have clients that tell us that we don't know what we would do without you. You said in the very beginning we would have more time to do the things that we wanted, and we didn't really believe you. But now that we've been a customer for 2 years, we understand that what you said was true.
Yeah. So what do you look for when hiring employees?
So we have everything's process driven with our business. So hiring process, same exact thing. I don't look at resumes. I don't weed out candidates. I don't do any of that. What I do is I ask. We're very core values driven. So our core values are be prepared, be nice, work hard, tell the truth, finish what you start. So I have an array of questions that we ask candidates when they come in for an interview, based off of that character and alignment with those core values. And then we do a what's called a working interview. So we analyze how that person does the job within a 7 to 10 day working period, and then we have a meeting after that 7 to 10 day working period. If it's a fit for them, fantastic. Then we'll continue. If not, then we part ways as friends.
So how important is attitude compared to skill?
Attitude is easy. I can train skill all day, but attitude is one of the fundamentals for sure.
So do you think young people today work hard enough?
I would say that people do work hard enough. I just think that there's a lot of people in jobs that they don't like. And when you show up to a place, and I even find myself in these situations when I walk into a place and I can feel that there's tension in the air, or there's just a bad vibe with a certain company. That's why we fall back onto core values, because everybody at our company is happy to see each other. Everybody self-corrects when there is an issue and things of that sort. So I definitely think that that core values is a big aspect to keep the team on the same page.
So what advice should you give, teenagers that are getting their first job?
Be prepared. Be prepared. Do your best every single day, and that's all you can do. I mean, you can show up and do the best that you can do. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have failures. You're gonna have those down days. You're gonna need to push through those and know that everything's gonna be okay on the other side.
Yeah. Well, why would a kid want to grow up and clean houses for a living?
So I understand the perspective of not wanting to clean as a natural occurrence, especially with my son. Believe me, he does not like cleaning, but he does it every day. So his chores, at least, we don't have him out in the field. He's only 12, but it's a tough job, but it is rewarding. The main focal point that we focus on is that we're not just cleaning, we're helping all of our clients get time with their families, so that way we can provide an income to support our family.
There you go. Well, on that note, let's take another quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we're back here with Michael Kelley from Mad Cleaning Services. So, Michael, if someone listening wanted to start their own business one day, where should they start?
I would definitely say reach out to your local SBA rep. They'll be able to get you guided into getting your EIN, getting all of your business bank account, and all that stuff set up. And they have great resources there. They helped assist us with getting our business kicked off. So,
Well, there you go. So what was the biggest mistake you made early on as a business owner?
Not opening a reserve account, so to speak, for the business right away. That's something that I always kick myself in the butt for not saving, essentially, as soon as we started.
That makes sense. So, do you think failure is important for success?
100%. I think without failure, I mean, more power to you if you have the path paved, so to speak. But if you do have those failures, I think it makes you a stronger owner. It makes you a stronger entrepreneur. I do a lot of things to help other business owners with when they get stuck. So I think that's a huge aspect, is that we all kind of stick together and help each other out when we can.
So what keeps you motivated on hard days?
Family. 100% family. When I feel like giving up, when I feel like I want to quit, when I feel like this is just too hard, all I have to do is look at my son and I'm willing to go another round.
What's the most rewarding part about your work?
Same answer. Family. I have more time with my family. I get to eat breakfast with my son and my wife every morning. I get to have dinner with them every night. And when I was in logistics, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week on call. Didn't make those family dinners. Wasn't there for breakfast. And I realized that those small moments are the biggest things that matter the most in life.
All right. So what's something that people would be surprised to learn about you?
Surprised to learn about me. That's a great question. I would have to say I'm an avid outdoorsman. I love going shooting. I love all kinds of stuff with stuff like that.
All right, this might be a guy to invite to the Christmas party, Dad. Well, do you ever get tired of cleaning at home too?
Yes, 100%. So the easiest way, which I guess you could take this as a tidbit helping for people as well, break it down to a schedule. What I do is, especially with my son, is I have him do a set string of things every single day, and then by the end of the week, when the weekend rolls around, we are solid, everything's done, taken care of, and we can enjoy our time.
All right. So who inspired you most growing up?
I would have to say my mom. My mom, we came from a poor side of town, Section 8 housing, and I watched her fight every single day to create a better life for us. And now I get to do the same for my family and pay it forward.
All right. Well, if you could go back and talk to your 15-year-old self, what would you tell him?
Everything's going to be okay. Don't stress about the small stuff. Look at the big picture and just keep working hard, and everything's going to be all right.
All right. Now, the questions only get harder from here. All
Fair
right.
enough.
Just giving you a heads up. All right, first question after telling you that. You ready? What was the biggest mistake that you've ever made, and how did it change you as a person?
The biggest mistake that I ever made.
Told you.
Man, I've made so many mistakes though. Like that's hard. Oh, that's so hard to pinpoint. Like I could give you a specific decade of mistakes that I made. For sure. I would have to say, man,
Told you.
Not being there for my son when he was first born. I would probably say that's the biggest mistake. I was so worried about money. I worked in the car business at the time as a salesman, and anybody that has worked that job, that you're there from open to close, and you're not getting home until 11 p.m. at night. And I did 80 hours a week in the dealership, and I absolutely hate the fact that I missed his first steps. I missed his first word, stuff like that. And don't always get consumed with it. Be willing to draw a hard line boundary to enjoy those little things.
Yeah. Okay. Now tell me that story. The one, now remember, this is a kid's show, but that one cleaning job that you'll never forget.
So I don't know if this would count as a cleaning job or not, because we technically didn't clean, but we did show up to clean. So we had gotten there. It was a group home, and they had moved, and everything was taken out of the home. We were there to do the estimate, do the cleaning, so on and so forth. We walk in, and after the property, not owner, but the person that had hired us, unlocks the door, and the entire floor was flooded on the ground. And there was some explicit material, I will say, since it is a kid's show, taped to the front door. So everything kind of seemed off. So I ended up going into the house and seeing that there was a broken window in the back. And I started to clear the house. And as I'm clearing through the house, I come to a bathroom. There's water running in the bathroom, but the door is locked. So instead of walking in on something that I didn't really want to walk in on, I ended up leaving the house. Told the client that the door was locked. I would recommend calling the police. And the police end up showing up probably about 5 minutes later. And I go to the end of the driveway and I'm like flagging them over. And the next thing I hear is, "Don't move. I've got you at gunpoint." And I turn and look, and it's a Volusia County sheriff that had me at gunpoint. And I said, I'm not moving. I put my hands on top of my head. Another cop comes, and I told him, I was like, "Look, I'm armed. My firearm's on my right hip." And he was like, "Come on, you gotta get out. You gotta move." And I'm like, "I'm not moving. You move with me." And it got pretty crazy, but it de-escalated pretty fast after they realized that we weren't the ones that broke in and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was a pretty crazy time.
Huh. Gunpoint immediately.
Yeah.
Huh, that's weird. Well, if you could just clean one place in the whole world just to say you did it, where would it be?
Man, I would have to say probably the White House. That would be a pretty cool spot to clean.
Not the top floor of the Empire State Building.
I've never been to the top floor, so I might retract that at a later point. Yeah.
Well, what's one thing every kid listening can start doing today to be more responsible at home?
Being more responsible. I mean, if you're leaning towards the regard of cleaning and stuff like that, just write down, like I said, a schedule, and you can streamline those things so they don't seem as overly daunting. When you let them compile and then it ends up being a huge heap, it's extremely hard to work through.
So what's one thing you wish more people understood about your work?
Value. I would think the biggest hurdle that we face in our industry is perceived value. A lot of people don't value cleaning. They think anybody can do it. And believe me, there are cheap cleaners out there that do specialize in that realm. However, our area of innovation, you can do price, you can do convenience, or you can do quality. And a lot of people would think like McDonald's is price, but it's actually convenience.
Yeah.
You have a drive-through to go through, and our area of innovation is definitely quality.
Yeah,
that's where we thrive.
All right. So do you have like a website or like a social media for my listeners who want to learn more about Mad Cleaning Services?
Yeah, 100%. Our website is madcleaning.net, and our Instagram tag is at madcleaning1.
All right. Now, is the number like a £, or just the number 1?
The word number and then 1.
Okay. Well, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
The one question I think you forgot. I would have to say, what is the biggest drawback of being in the industry that we're in?
What is it?
I would have to lean back on a previous answer as well. Is the perceived value of it. I watched my mom for 20 years do the best quality for the cheapest price, and she ended up walking away from that business with nothing from it. And I think that making sure that you know your worth, making sure that you know that what you're doing is paid for in a equivalent level.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Michael, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Of course.
Sweet.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
glad my computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And thank you, Michael, for helping me with Math Corners. And this week, we're talking about multi-step word problems. And, we're going to do business math with a real cleaning company. Well, since you run, Mad Cleaning Service, I thought we, could figure out, how much money was, like, a cleaning business might make in one, like, really busy week. All right? You
Fair
ready?
enough. Let's do it.
A cleaning company cleans 80 houses in 1 week. The cleaning supplies for each house cost $12. The company also pays their cleaning staff $85 per house. The company charges customers $150 per house for the cleaning service. What is the total profit for the week?
I think I'm going to need pen and paper for that one.
Well, good luck, because you don't get any. All right. Well, first, this is a real-world problem because businesses have to figure out their costs and profits all the time. So if they don't know their numbers, they could accidentally lose money instead of making money, or make too much money and not pay enough. And so, yeah, it's a big problem. All right, so first, let's figure out the cost of the cleaning supplies. The company cleans 80 houses, and the supplies cost $12 for each house. So you simply multiply 80 times 12, which is 960. 8 times 12, 96, add a 0, really easy. Now, let's figure out how much they pay their staff. The company pays $85 per house for labor, and they cleaned 80 houses. So multiply 80 by 85, and that's $6,800 total staff cost. Now we have the supplies and labor together. That's $7,760 for the total cost for the week. But now let's figure out how much they made. So about $150 per house. So cleaned 80 of them. 80 times 150 is about $12,000 in sales. Now for the fun part, profit. Profit means the money that was left over after paying all the costs. So we subtract the expenses from the sales, 12,000 minus 7,760, which is $4,240. So that's what the company made. The company made about $4,000 for the week, without taxes.
Of course.
Without taxes. We haven't gotten that far yet. All right, so Michael, did my dad get anywhere close to listing the costs correctly, or did he miss a lot of stuff like gas or snacks or other things?
So our perspective on it is like I said earlier, everything's broken down to 45% cost of goods sold, 25% expenses, 30% profit. So essentially every 30 grand a month in sales does 10 grand a month roughly in profit.
Well, my teacher said that I would use math every single day. How do you use math in your work?
Every single day, with every single thing. Every hour gets analyzed through our field management software to ensure profitability on every single job. It gets analyzed with how many technicians are working that day, how many houses are done that day, so on and so forth. Calculating mileage, calculating time and distance between each job to ensure the scheduling is done properly. So there's math everywhere in every segment.
Oh, well, yeah. But thank you so much, Michael, for your help with Math Corners.
Thank you.
And now it's time for the Heart of the Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living at the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and ability. Well, this week, we're going to talk about leadership. For me, I think leadership is the act of loving what is good, having self-control, and being disciplined. The qualities of leadership are providing guidance and direction, organization, and being a positive influence on others. Well, I actually saw leadership at my mom's job this week. It was another busy day with phones going off and people running around, and one employee looked really overwhelmed, and my mom's boss went over to, help them figure some things out, and he could have been yelling or demanding, but instead he showed ways to make the task in steps and easier to manage. Then he thanked the people in the department for their hard work and reminded them just to get back to it. Leadership isn't just being the boss. Leadership is about staying calm when things get stressful, helping people succeed, and setting a good precedent for others. A real leader doesn't just tell people what to do. They help bring out the best in the whole team. So, Michael, when, you run a business and manage a team, how important is leadership to keep, everything running smoothly?
It's the biggest pillar of what I do. 100%. It's that's, and I'm going to refer back to what I said before. That's when we fall back onto core values, and I have to check myself. Am I being nice? Am I being prepared? Am I working hard? Am I telling the truth? Am I finishing what I start? And if I walk through that with the technician, with our employee, and ensure that we're both on the same page and looking at the problem from that type of perspective, then we can usually get to a good solution at the end.
All right. Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
Yes.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Michael Kelley for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about your work with Mad Cleaning Services and all the stuff that you do.
Well, thanks for having me, Tiberius. I greatly appreciate it.
No problem. And do you mind giving your social media and website again?
Of course. It's madcleaning.net for the website, and madcleaning, the word number 1, for Instagram.
All right. And also you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And I would like to thank WWPR 1490 AM, Cans 98, Soul Radio 24/7, Easy Way TV, and all the other stations that air my show. And please be sure to visit Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. So, Michael, are you subscribed yet?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Well, the Zaner, I know that's you to Schiff, says, are you a D1 Gooner? No, I'm not, says Schiff. You gotta stop asking me that. And Over It 111 says, I've seen you on Liberty Troll. Are you gonna post the episode? Well, thanks, Over It. And yes, it takes my dad about 2 months to get all the editing done from the date of recording. So, we'll post it soon. And thank you for following. And be sure to leave a comment on my videos, and I may even mention yours at the end of the show. And also, be sure to listen to us next on Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.